What's going on, guys? This is Scott with KC Blade Drip, welcoming you to the only place where you're going to get a 150% guarantee. That's right, this is the weekend edition because it's Sunday, June 12th. It's a weekend edition of the 150% guarantee, where 100% of the time I'll be over 50% right. Gosh, how you guys doing? I thought just wanted to say real quick, because it is Sunday, that I believe that the giveaway was pretty cool. I think it worked out fine. I wanted to tell G-Man, I think it was G-Man 1024, just wanted to congratulate him again. It was funny because he had made a statement saying that he can drive 55, but then he actually had meant to say can't drive 55. So I guess that kind of worked out in his favor that he was obeying the speed limit on that one, right? Anyways, I thought that was good. I told you guys we would have a knife video, so definitely want to go over a new knife that I haven't talked about with you. And this is the weekend edition, guys. I always try to get on here. I did it twice, I guess. I did it for the giveaway yesterday, and then I'm doing it today. Let's see. Follow me at KC Blade Drip if you want to do so. That's on Instagram. Trying to see if there was anything else I wanted to talk about before I started actually yapping about this knife. Great weekend. We had an art fair that wasn't far from us that was going on all weekend. Went down for a couple of days, even though it rained. We got to have some good food at a French market and just visit, have a couple of drinks with a buddy of mine I hadn't seen in a long time because he works so damn much, or he's traveling the world. So anyways, with that, I hope your guys' weekend, or whenever you're watching this video, that your day, your time, your thoughts, your moments, everything's going really swell, guys. And appreciate you always being there, making the giveaway something that was really freaking awesome, as well as watching my videos and commenting and all that good stuff. So with that, this is going to be our knife we're going to talk about. This is the Benchmade Bugout. Now, I've had this knife, I would say, probably about a year, maybe a year and a half, somewhere around there. It was like the second Benchmade that I ever had. And when I got it, I had seen it kind of pumped up and advertised. You know how Blade HQ does their stuff. This is an exclusive from Blade HQ. And anyways, they had pumped it up, and I kind of get suckered into some of that stuff. I mean, some of it's gimmicky, you know, from Blade HQ. Other stuff is a little bit more practical or kind of cool or innovative. But anyways, gimmicky or not, they always sucker me in. So anyways, I looked, I saw, and one of my buddies had turned me on to Benchmades a long time ago. That's how I even got into it, to be honest with you, is I started handling his that he had at the time. And so I ended up pulling the trigger on this. I guess I'm giving you a lot of a story on this particular Benchmade Bugout. So I got this, and so here, it's in my hand. This is what it looks like. You guys are probably very familiar with the Benchmade Bugout. I mean, anybody that's anything or kind of into knives is going to know what this knife is. Either you have one, you want one, or you don't like them and you're just like, nah, that's not for me. So I got this knife, and this knife, when it first came out, it was back in 2017 is when the first Bugout came out. And they were made in this, like it was a bendable plastic material. I forgot if it was like a poly, or I'm stumbling. But anyways, you could take the knife, and there's videos of people that they're just squeezing, and the handles are moving, you know, squeezing inward. So that was kind of a little bit Not something that many people, I think, were happy with. But anyway, since then in 2017 and the different handles and styles, they've got a multitude of colors. They've got 2 different sizes. They've got the bug out. They've got a, I think is it small bug out or mini bug out? I think it's mini bug out. And the name itself, if you guys know what a bug out bag is it's a bag that if shit hits the fan and you got to roll out, get out of town or Dodge or wherever the hell you're at, you grab that bag and it's got the stuff that you're going to need to be able to take care of business when you're out on the road. And so it got the name bug out from that. Now, I don't know exactly how it correlates like into this knife. Maybe it's meant to be like, this is for everything. You can't leave home without it. So that's a possibility. Other than that, that gives you just a little bit of kind of the bug out itself, where it came from, the year that it came out. Now, so when I had gotten mine, I immediately thought it felt good in the hand. You know, aesthetically, it looks okay. The handles are like this gray material. It's a gray G10. And the thing that's kind of crappy is, I don't know if you can tell, but where my jeans have basically started to turn the scales a little bit blue. Can you see that? That's not the light or anything. That's actually a blue. I don't think it's on this side because the clip was here. So this was facing the inside of my pocket. This was up against my body. So anyways, it kind of stained a little bit. So that was kind of something, not a huge deal. Not like I'll carry it. That's not, I'm not that OCD. But I just thought it was kind of a bummer that, you know, I didn't foresee that that would happen. So yeah, Benchmade, bug out, Blade HQ. I think this was a year, 2 years, something like that. The handle is G10. It's a textured G10. You can also see the texturing on the handle here for grip and stuff. And this G10 it's solid. This is like super, super solid handles here. They're not going to squeeze in, move, anything like that. So it is very hard and feels, you know, at least formidable or really strong in my hand. It's not going to fail as far as the handle goes. So onto the blade. It is a drop point. It's black Cerakote on the blade. It's CPM 20 CV for the steel. And I like that the branding, they just have this little bit over here, and then they have the butterfly over here with the logo. And that's really all that's on the knife itself. But it's a really nice profile. You've got kind of a little bit of a swedge here up at the top of the knife. Makes it a little bit good or better for if you're going to pierce and enter into something, as in, you know, cutting something up. That swedge is going to help to feed or drop the blade into whatever you're stabbing better, you know, just a little bit. And then some for cosmetics. But I really have been a fan of the drop point, non-serrated for Benchmade blades. They do a good job with them. You've got a lot of belly here, like it's thick enough. Now let me measure it, just because we want to do that. And we always try to do that. Man, these dogs shed like crazy. So I'm seeing like 3, maybe 3 1/4 on the blade. The handle 4 1/4, 4 1/8 maybe. And then let me see what, let's see what this weighs. I know this is a light one, very, very light. 2.2, let me, 2.2. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, the first ones that came out were like something absurd, like 1.9 or 1.8 ounces. So this one's a little bit bigger or heavier. It's probably because of the scales, being the G10, which was different than some of the earlier ones that they have. So yeah, it's it became famous, or people really got into it because of saying, this is something that's really lightweight. It's a Benchmade. You've got the access lock here, okay, which basically, I do it like this when I'm opening it. I just wrist it open and closed like that. I don't typically, on this particular knife, I don't really mess with the thumb stud. You can, flick it with the thumb stud. I just get better, and I like doing it with the axis lock, which, by the way, axis locks they've never failed me. So I like the axis lock. I don't have any complaints. So anyways, you've got, like I was saying, you've got CPM 20 CV for the blade. I'm good with that. That's a good blade. It's a nice size, especially for just a very light EDC. Whether you're going to an office or you're wearing slacks or you've got jeans or cargo pants or whatever, at basically 2 ounces, I think 2.2, you can slide this in anything. So it's you're not going to even recognize that this is in your pocket. And this was before I really started carrying larger knives. So that's good. And like it's thin profile here. Let's look at the back, very thin across the handles. It does have some dual green finish titanium thumb studs up here, which are really cool, anodized. And then you've also got the standoffs that are also, I like that green finish on there, on both the thumb studs and the standoffs there. I just like the look, how it sets off with the black blade and the gray handles. That's what kind of did it for me the first time. Feels like the first time. Feels like the very first time. Okay, sorry guys. Sometimes you just get rocking. You can't go stopping. Anyways, giving you some wrist action here. See, look how fidgety it is. I just, it's so fun to play with. I really haven't had this in my hands for a while. So yeah, I like the thumb stud placements. I like the flat blade on here, the size of it. I use this a lot to be able to actually check steaks and pork chops and chicken, different things on the grill. When I carried this for a couple of months, which was a long time, I'd flip this out all the time and just cut meat, and then I'd wipe it off, probably on my pant leg. But I used it all the time for that. Now I usually just carry it as like a secondary knife in my pocket. Axis lock, again, I've never had it fail on me. You got just a few screws here. Now I know that we have a steel liner. If you look here, it's only partial though. So they're trying to save some weight that way with the steel liner going about down to this far. And that's because up here the liner encompasses here the back, the ramp here where we have a little bit of jimping, and you've got the axis lock and stuff. Now the axis lock is the same on both sides. Okay, so when we go down here to the clip, you can flip this to the other side. Break on through to the music kind of mood tonight. So you can flip this to the other side here. It's a nice small clip, so you have a light knife and You don't need a big clip, and so it's minimalistic. It'll clip in there. You barely see it because it's black. That's nice. This texture on the handle is good on it. Let's just put our fingers in here. For being this size of a knife and this weight and the way it looks, this is a good fit in my hand. I mean, I can essentially get a good grip on the whole handle right here. So that's good. That's a good grip on here. I don't mind that at all either. And then the jimping up here on the top, it's not aggressive. You can kind of feel it just like some very soft bumps up here on the top, but it'll just grip in your thumb up a little bit. So when you have your hand wrapped around here, that feels very normal to be able to cut like this. And this type of a blade, you could even put your finger here on the top if you needed to do something really precise with this. So yeah, clip was good. That's good. Yeah, kind of covered the internals of this. It is G10. It's on the outside here as far as the handle goes. So, oh, and the people that like lanyards, this is really cool on this handle, because if you look at the lanyard hole, it's kind of large, so you can fit pretty much any type of material through here for a lanyard. But the way that it's built into the handle, look at the geometry of the handle. It keeps it pretty much the same as it would if you didn't have it there. It doesn't like stick out, make it look weird. So this is actually done really well. This has been a really, really popular knife for Benchmade. In fact, I am not sure. It may be #1. I think it is. I know the 940 is pretty popular too, but I believe the Bugout, is their all-time best-selling knife, I believe. So, and I know why. So this is the thing. It may not be for you. It may not be, for the next guy, but it could. What I'm saying is, every knife I talk about is something that at one time or another I wanted to buy or I wanted to have in my collection to some degree. So if I like something and I go over the positives, which I kind of did with all the things on this knife, somebody, it may not be for them because it is very light. So the one thing that a lot of people love about this knife is one thing that I personally don't like. I mean, I have to give, everything that I like and things I don't like. So when I put this in my hand, or I put it in my pants pocket, it feels too light to me. Like I could lose this. It could be in a pants pocket or I could sit it down, and because of the weight in the pocket, I'm just not really, it's not for me because of the weight. But it's still a great knife, great action. It bugs me that it kind of changed color or got stained, but then again, that kind of tattooed it with my own personal touch, so that doesn't bother me really in the least. The handle is just a little bit slick for me, it feels like ivory. I mean, it's that hard. And even though it has kind of that texture, the way these handles are and that they're so straight, I can't say I love the handle on here. Other than that, I love it. This is a great knife. In fact, I would encourage anyone that wants to have a really light EDC style knife to check this out, get it in your hand, look at it. This isn't something I don't think that would be affected by any knife laws anywhere. But then again, I'm not an attorney and I don't really know. So you'd have to look at your local laws and stuff, make sure that you're able to have it. I think it's considered a manual, not assisted, I don't believe. Oh well, damn, at least my standard is I gotta at least be over 50% right. So with that, guys, I appreciate you listening to me talk about the Benchmade Bugout. Hope you had a great weekend or you're having a great day or a great night. whatever you're doing right now, remember our pets, remember the vets, the guys and gals that have given everything and wore the uniform for this country, our pets that are always there. And that's about it. Remember to stay sharp, my friends. This is Scott, and I'm out.